Holding the roll. Back up. Ready and background.
What in the world?
Okay, cut.
It's been an incredible shoot. I think God's hand's definitely been on the shoot as we've been here. We've seen just some amazing performances by the different actors. I think the story plays out incredibly as we've been going through it.
So I like Shane's journey of faith. Like, you know, he starts out with really no knowledge at all of God or of, you know, of faith, and through these events that happen, he starts to realize and starts to, you know, through Jackson and through even Eve, he starts to realize that, wow, there is something to these prophecies, that there's something going on, something that's bigger than himself. You know, Shane Daughtry is a guy who normally can solve problems by himself. He's good at his job, and so that's one of the things that I liked about this film, is that that journey for him, and obviously, you know, as it goes into the sequels, you know, that journey will become a lot clearer for him. But in this movie, it's definitely that eye-opening experience.
You know, at the end of the day, the story is no doubt very important, but you want an audience to be entertained, and they did a great job in writing the script and making it entertaining. First, this project is based on a book that was written, a book called Jerusalem Countdown by Pastor John Hagee, and so I enjoyed reading the book, and then the script was written, I read that, and then the rewrites, and my character is not in the script a lot, but he's an important character to the storyline, and not a really nice guy at all. But as I jokingly say to people, it's a lot easier to play those characters. You know, it's far harder to play somebody who really cares. This guy's not. But this guy's a lot of fun because he's really dark. He's really dark, and you'll be surprised. You'll see that you might even want to like him in the beginning, and then you see something else in him that you truly don't like as this progresses, as the story progresses.
Well, aside from the fact that Randy Travis is one of the producers, I'd say that it's a very exciting script. It's kind of like 24 meets the Da Vinci Code, you know. Yeah, it really moves along, and it was very well written.
Yeah, Mrs. Lexi did a sign out. Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm the second AD.
This is my interview. Look, will you get me a water?
No, you're right. I no longer work for you.
You didn't mean that. Eve Reardon is an FBI agent who's working on a case with Shane Daughtry, another FBI agent. And together they are looking to find some nukes that have gotten into the country. There's a rogue organization that is trying to blow up the U.S. and Israel and just create chaos. So we are here to stop all this.
Well, you know what? I like fight scenes. I'm a big. I find great enjoyment out of them, and fighting Marco Khan. You know, he's such a menacing-looking guy, and yet such a sweetheart. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Marco, but you know, he's just a super nice guy, and. You know, and then with the stunt guys and just choreographing that stuff, I enjoy it, and, you know, shooting guns. And that's the crazy thing about shooting in Michigan, is that literally 2 in the morning in this neighborhood where people are living, we're able to shoot AK-47s out the window, and I'm able to shoot guns and squeal cars, and, you know, doesn't get any better than that, because you can't do that in Los Angeles. So, you go Michigan.
The dynamic, it seemed really great on, you know, on script, so I just thought, well, this will be really, really fun to do. And of course, it's just a great action flick, and who doesn't like to be an action hero at the end to save the world?
You know, we shot the rapture scene in the rain with 300 extras, and, you know, again, the fire engines and all the people that came out for that was extraordinary. I think it's going to be the best rapture scene ever, you know, in a faith-based movie, possibly.
No one that I know of directs action better than Harold Kronk. Harold Kronk is, we joke that sometimes we're both 10-year-old boys. We like to play with guns. We like to run around the woods and do guy things, I suppose. And he thinks in comic book frames, and what he's able to capture in a lens of a camera and in the eyes of an actor, I think very few people have that gift. He does.
Harold was thinking of a way to just what to do with this shot, and he was like, "Are you game? You know, to do something a little more daring?" And he gets up and he says, "I'd like for you to do this," you know. And he's showing the gun, and we're running across the ice, and then he just slides, like sliding into first base, you know. And I was like, "Okay, I can do that." And wow, I mean, 20 takes later, would have thought, you know, as a stunt woman. I want to tell you, at that moment, I stepped back and I said, this is what making movies is about. I was having a blast, and it didn't matter how cold it was outside. I just thought, wow, I just did that. I was really kind of nervous about it.
And it's one of those classic movie scenes where you're running around, you know, with a flashlight, and, you know, he runs and he takes pictures of things in the house, and he's only armed with a flashlight. And of course the bad guys come home, and he's stuck in the house with the bad guys there, and it's one of those deals where, you know, I'm trying to hide from the bad guys in broad day, you know, the lights are on and I'm, you know, frozen, hoping they don't catch me. And as soon as I read that, I was like, oh man, as an actor, you know, that's the kind of thing you always want to do, you know. And then there's a big fight scene, a big chase scene, and a big fight scene with the bad guys, and I prevail, you know, and to be able to beat up, yeah, I mean, it's the kind of stuff that's really fun for an actor to play. So
Nick tried to shoot me earlier. He almost hit me, and I tried to blow him up. So, as you can see, we're not friends. In fact, I am going to interrogate him later on in the film and make him pay dearly for information.
Yeah, so tomorrow.
But he's going to make me pay.
I'm not sure.
You know, the director Harold Kronk is from, and Matt Taufert are part of 10 West Studios, and we've been working with them on several films. And when Harold's name came up to direct this, we thought, you know, he's definitely has a great eye for action. And Harold and Matt took over, you know, the script. They took the script and overhauled it again and did a great job on it. And so it just made sense to let Harold direct it, and he's done a terrific job. I think it's going to be an exciting film. And Matt, of course, is playing Nick, that I get to rough around, rough up a little bit, and bring a little Los Angeles into Michigan. But overall, it's been a great experience.
It's been great. I don't think I've ever been as involved in a film as much as I have on this one. And from working with some incredibly talented people to come up with a script that we, you know, are all excited about and have all brought our best game to. That's been a wonderful collaborative experience.
Never mess with the director on set. Kronk. Yeah. And cut. Alright, so here we are in the tarmac night 2 of the Muskegon County Airport Israeli delegation plane destruction scene. As you can see, we got a couple snow vipers here behind me who are ambushing the Israeli delegation with the help of Dean, who is the on the boots field commander of the Revolution of God. So the plot is to destroy the delegation by blowing up their plane. And these two shysters here are the guys that help him achieve that dastardly deed. Maybe have to watch the movie to find out. We have Nick Jamieson here today, who is a tremendous actor. We're really excited about having him playing Dean for us, and we're looking forward to some great performances today. Maybe
Dean, he's a very mysterious character. He's a CIA guy who's turned, gone to work for the other side. He's highly trained. He's kind of the Jack Bauer of the dark side. And he's fluent in many languages, good at destabilizing governments, good at using every kind of weapon system there is to cause every kind of havoc there is. Basically, he's the guy you don't want to mess with. I was just in Philadelphia, you know, and they have a very interesting accent there. And a lot of people don't know what they talk like in Philly. This is what they talk like in Philly. Just like to say hi to all my friends up there in the county. How you doing? Go enjoy the cold, you know. It's like in Philly, I just learned something that I hadn't picked up before, even though I lived there, which is this, when they say good, they say good. Yeah, that's good. It's real good. So you learn something every day. The hardest one for me is a straight-ahead British, educated British, because you spend so much time in voiceover and animation doing stereotypes, really, you know, sort of very upper crust British sort of thing. You know, you cook these, you know, like that, or either sort of country British part, you know. All the regional dialects, you know, are easy because I end up doing them all the time. But just a regular English fella from London who's doesn't have any particular regionalisms, and he's not, you know, upper class or anything like that. I find it difficult because you tend to fall into one of the other ones.
My character Daniel is a guy who is a writer, an investigative writer, and he's unemployed, and so he's spent a lot of time at home and writing and spying on his neighbors. Eventually he suspects his neighbors of being terrorists, and his suspicions turn out to be true. His wife is Christian and he is not, and he struggles with that. He loves his wife very much, and I think he loves that she's found that in her life, and that it's changed her life for the better, and she's become a better person by being Christian, but he struggles with it. He struggles with his belief in Christ.
Angie is a 30s school teacher, and she is a woman who has found the Lord and found Christ, and really changed in every way. She's married to Daniel, who is still on the journey of finding Christ, and she's kind of getting the opportunity to help him and show him where God is and who he is, and kind of be a part of the revealing process. For me, this is a bit more mature, and it's being able to be the light, you know, like Angie is in this. She gets to be kind of the inspiration and the light for her husband.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
How warm is it, Kronk?
I think it's about 11.
It's 11.
Below.
Below. That's the wind. I think that's the temperature. The wind chill's about 40 below. Your snot freezes to your nose. If you cry, because of the cold, it freezes too. And
that's filmmaking in northern Michigan.
Kronk got boots that are negative 40 below, and I think he's still cold. And we're out here. If you can look here, we're setting lights up out here in the snow. Let's take a look at this here. This would be our fearless grip department here.
I did that!
You did do that. You broke the light just recently. And there's a whole setup going on out here. So that's the whole deal. It's quite the shoot here on Jerusalem Countdown in the snow. We went for the production value. We wanted to have snow, and we got it.
I'm going to tell you what's really going on outside. This is supposed to be like mid-October. It is not. There is a blizzard. I'm not kidding you, a blizzard outside. It is a winter wonderland. It's awesome, it's beautiful, it's cold. I'm from Texas, so I'm adoring this. I'm having a blast. Every time I go out into the snow, I'm just hoping that I'll fall. But like only in a good way, not the bad way. So that I can get like, you know, play in the snow without having to really be an immature adult playing in the snow. So, just having a good time. It's pretty crazy to think of what we're trying to I mean, all these poor guys over here trying to make it, you know, not what it is, and yet we have this like heavenly background outside. So I'm hoping we can use it for something. Look at my gorgeous husband bringing me snow.
The weather, oh, the weather. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come home back to California because we are in a severe blizzard here. Nothing like I've ever seen in my life, seriously. We had like 3 feet of snow last night, and it's just been snowing nonstop for the last 24 hours. Never seen anything like it. It's crazy, but it's beautiful and fun too. So
in this scene we have Agent Eve Reardon approaching her car, and we have this mysterious dark-suited figure that's been kind of following her or shadowing her throughout the film approaches her for the first time and says, "Hello, Eve." And we're trying to figure out who this guy is throughout most of the film, and if you want to know, you have to watch. So
it's going to be exciting times here.
Thanks for coming out to the set, and we'll see you hopefully in a warm theater near you very soon.
Very warm theater.
We did have an outdoor scene, and we had to change it because of the snow, because of the blizzard. So one of the pivotal scenes for my character, I had always envisioned outdoors. We had to shoot inside, but it worked out well though.
Here to the left, this is our house that we shot for the terrorists earlier in the year when it was nice and sunny, and now we cannot shoot our exteriors of the house because of the snow. So we're gonna have to come back in the spring and shoot some pickup shots of that. So it's quite a challenge out here, and I think that's all I can do because I just froze to death.
Outside in Manistee, one of our locations, we did a scene that was still covered but outside, but negative 20-degree wind chill, and I have never been so cold in my entire life. I mean, we've had a couple of scenes where I had to hold the coffee cup straight and it was just impossible, and then my face froze.
And now we're shooting out where it was 13, degrees, 20 below with the wind chill, and it's definitely been cold.
And it's been interesting to connect up. We split the shoot into 2 halves, and we shot the first 5 days back in October, and we had similar with rain and everything like that. And I think the rain and some of the snow, even though it's been difficult to shoot in and all these different things like that, I think it brings an interesting production element to the movie in certain ways, and it brings a certain mood to the picture that I think it needed, that I think it works really well for. So there's been some blessings with it, and there's been some hardships with it too as well, but I think overall the crew has done an incredible job making it through and really putting together quite a wonderful movie.
My character in particular, playing Angie, being able to be that kind of testimony in my husband's life, I mean, it's well, there's nothing like it. I mean, that's the hope of every Christian, is to be a light in somebody's life. And this film really is a call to people to just believe. All you have to do is believe.
Also with the character, with Daniel's character, he comes full circle in the movie. He comes a long way in this film. He goes from being a guy who just is annoyed even talking about Jesus. He's just annoyed even hearing the word God, till at the end of the film he's on his knees begging for forgiveness for not believing and asking Christ to come into his life. And so that's a huge journey for Daniel, and a huge journey for me as an actor.
As far as the actual events that are happening, that is very plausible, really. Tension between Iran and Israel, and Russia's ambiguous involvement in that area of the world. Yeah, it is very plausible.
The mere fact that it's speaking to the end times and the potential of the Antichrist coming, and the potential destruction of America, the potential destruction of Israel. I think those are important things that we need to think about. Things we need to consider to be responsible citizens, responsible Christians. Certainly, yeah.
But it makes you think about what's going on in current events right now, and makes you really rethink your faith, and what purpose, what's your purpose in life, and how life could be really short, and where you are. So I think if you take all those things together, I think it'll just make you think a little bit about you know, all those little things. And let's face it, if a film makes us think just a little bit and reflect on our lives, you've done your job in the film.
At the end of everything, we are all going to be leaving here, so considering where you're going when you leave here. So as far as that goes, pastors and everybody else involved, that audience-wise, who would go see this, you'd get that out of it, I hope.
I get asked a lot, you know, being part of PureFlix Entertainment, you know, what are you guys doing, what's coming next, and everything like that. And PureFlix, we really set it up. We do, you know, 6 to 8 faith-based movies a year. This is our 6th this year, and it's been a very, very busy year. And we continue to make movies that are here to encourage the church and to further people's walk with the Lord. And so we've done numerous movies. We've done What If, we've done Sarah's Choice, In the Blink of an Eye, Jerusalem Countdown, The Revelator. There's been just a host of different films this year, and all of them from differing subject matters. So it's a wide variety. So we want to give a good mix so that there's always a movie that appeals to someone, no matter what age you're in, no matter what walk of life you're in. There's subject matter that's going to appeal to you, and you'll be able to find the really strong biblical messages that will resonate with churches and pastors and stuff like that they'll be able to get behind these movies and promote them to their congregation as a great, safe entertainment tool, but also a tool that they can learn from great biblical messages.
It's a heavy event, this whole thing, and we don't know when the end is coming. We may be very close to it. That's why we like this film. You know, we think it's definitely an action thriller. It has a romance in it. It has a little bit of everything for everybody. But at the same time, it's very poignant in today's society and what's going on right now. And our goal is that no one would be left behind. You know, that people would see this film and it would make them think about their spiritual life as well. You know, we spend so much time on the physical, and yet we give little thought to our spiritual life. And that's what we hope that this film does. And that churches then can use it as a tool for outreach and reach into their communities. And you know, the amazing thing about film is that we live in a sight and sound generation. Our culture is impacted by the media, and that's why we do these films, is to impact our culture.
Mr. White, we have to move now. Let's go. We have to move now. Now.